Hello, and good morning. At least it is for me. It is morning right now. Whenever you're listening to this, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever it is for you. My name is Dallen Haws, and this is the Plan Your Federal Benefits YouTube channel or podcast, wherever you are at listening/watching this. And welcome back if you are a return viewer and listener, and if you are new, please consider subscribing. This is where we go deep into your federal FERS benefits and retirement, making sure you have the answers that you need to plan for the best retirement possible. And today we're talking about when you know that it's the time to sign off and to retire. And we all know that this is the question that many of us are trying to answer, and it is not easy all the time. It can be very difficult to know if it's time to retire. And we know there's a lot of factors to consider, whether emotional, whether just how much you like your job, whether financial, whether the economy, or who's the president, or all these different things to think about. It can be confusing and hard to know. So today we're going to touch on a few things to think about when it comes to planning for retirement, when it's the right time. Because as we know, technology is only getting better, especially in the medical field, and people are living longer. And it is not uncommon for people's retirement to be just as long, if not longer, than their career. So planning beforehand for success in retirement is paramount, is so crucial to having a great and successful retirement. So the first thing that is definitely core to every successful retiree's retirement is what they do come Monday morning, right? What they do come when they don't have to show up at work or show up via Zoom to their work meetings, whatever it is, they don't have to work. What do they do? And many happy and successful retirees, they have something to fulfill them, to put their time into, that they are passionate about, that they enjoy, whether it's a part-time business or a job, or serving in their church, or whatever it is, playing golf, traveling, whatever it happens to be. Many studies have shown that the activity, the type of activity that retirees pick up or start doing in retirement is way less important than the fact that they have something, a core pursuit, a hobby on steroids, whatever you want to call it, something to put their time and energy into that gives them structure to their day. Because, of course, pre-retirement, you had that 9 to 5. You had a job that gave you structure, and you filled in your hobbies and your family life, everything around that. Well, now you have to create the structure. And the most successful retirees that are happy and fulfilled create that successfully by finding things to really fulfill them in retirement. And obviously I'm the numbers guy, I'm the finance guy, but if you don't have something to fill the void in retirement, it doesn't matter how much income you're going to have, you're not going to be happy, right? You definitely have to have something to fill that void. So that's number one, is what are you going to do come Monday morning when you don't have to work? That's huge. And obviously pre-retirement, you don't have to know exactly. You don't have to plan out every single minute or day. You don't. But having a pretty good idea of, okay, I'd like to do this, I have this lined up, that is so important. So the next thing that is so crucial is, of course, funding the mission, or making sure your finances are right to have the retirement that you want, right? As federal employees, you often are blessed with a pension and Social Security and your TSP, so you will have income. But the real question is, okay, is that the amount of income after taxes, after deductions, after everything, your net income, is that the amount of income that you want to live the life that you want, right? That's the question that we all want to answer is that the number that you're comfortable with and will give you the lifestyle in retirement that either is the same as during your career and you're happy with it, or even more, whatever it is for you, to make sure that you are confident and happy with those numbers to make that happen. And in this video and podcast, I'm not going to go over how to calculate your retirement numbers. I've made many videos and podcasts about calculating that sort of stuff. But today, I'm going to talk about simulating your retirement, because often people describe retirement as walking off a cliff hoping that they packed their parachute correctly. They're like, please, please, I hope. When I pull the cord, I want there to be enough income. When I'm not getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, I want to make sure that I am getting the income that I need / want and that I'm comfortable with in retirement. So, like I said, great ways to simulate retirement. The best way to do that is to start running your numbers for your pension, your Social Security, your TSP, your military retirement, any other type of retirement income that you're going to have to run those numbers. Say, okay, after deductions, after taxes, what sort of income am I going to have to spend on my lifestyle, on doing things, whether it's with your family, your spouse, whatever it is, what is that number going to look like? And let's say it's $5,000 a month, okay? You run your numbers and say, hey, everything included with all my plans, it's going to be $5,000 a month that I'm going to have to spend. Okay, so during the last couple of years of your career, what you can do is say, hey, in retirement, I'm going to get a monthly pension check, I'm going to get a monthly Social Security check, as well as maybe a monthly thing for my TSP. Okay, well, let's go ahead and I know I'm getting a paycheck every 2 weeks, but what if I just change that where I don't actually see the money, or it doesn't get into a specific account until once a month, and only $5,000 every month, right? Maybe that's a little less than your paychecks are. I don't know, it depends on your numbers, of course. But in a way, you can simulate retirement, you can simulate your retirement budget to say, hey, am I actually comfortable with these numbers, okay? And if you are, awesome. If you start simulating your retirement and you realize, hey, actually, I'm not exactly comfortable with this dollar amount as I thought I would be. This is a little more stressful. I'm not exactly as comfortable and as lenient as I want to be in retirement. Retirement is supposed to be a relaxed, a comfortable, a fun state in your life. So simulating it will first either give you confidence or send you the message of, hey, maybe it's worth it to you to work a little extra to amp up your TSP, amp up your pension, your Social Security, so that you have a little more income and you can live the way you want. So that's huge as well. Now, many people, especially if they have a little more time, maybe a few more years before retirement, it can be hard to know what age to look forward to. What age to say, hey, that's the time, that's the age that I want to plan for. And it's not, there's no perfect age, so there's no perfect time to plan for. But what I often start with when I'm working with anybody is, okay, when's the earliest that you can retire with an immediate retirement? Now, I know not every federal employee is going to retire with an immediate retirement, but in a nutshell, an immediate retirement is the type of retirement that if you are eligible for it, you can basically get a pension right away after your application's processed, as well as you can keep your federal health benefits into retirement. Those two things are quite important to a lot of people, so many people want to wait at least until they have an immediate retirement. So, as a FERS federal employee, you have to meet one of three things, really, to get an unreduced pension. The first is, at age 62, you have to have at least 5 years, okay? At age 60, you have to have at least 20 years of service, or at your minimum retirement age, which for most of you is going to be between 56 and 57, you have to have at least 30 years of service. So if you kind of look at your age, your years of service, how it's all stacking up and how it's going to be when you start hitting the ages, then you can say, hey, for me, I'm going to have 30 years of service when I'm 57. Okay, so that's the first time that I'm going to be eligible to retire with an immediate retirement. Okay, assuming that's right, what is my pension going to be at that time? Okay, what's my plans with Social Security? What's my plans with my TSP? What is my TSP approximately going to be at that time? Am I comfortable retiring at that age, right? Maybe your first supplement, if you are retiring before 62, what about your first supplement? Is that going to kick in? Is that going to push you over the limit where you are now comfortable, right? So for you, I would look at the earliest age that you are eligible to retire with an immediate retirement, to keep your health benefits, to get a pension basically right away, and see where you stand. Obviously, if you get to the age and say, hey, I'm not as prepared as I want to, or I just enjoy my job, you can continue working. There is no one saying that you have to leave, of course, unless you have a mandatory retirement age like many special provisions, law enforcement, air traffic controllers have. If that isn't you, then you can stay longer if you want. Even if you file your retirement application, you can always cancel it. You could pull it back, assuming you do it before your last day, right? As long as you're on the payroll still, you can generally pull it back, no problem. Unless, of course, it's an early out or some other different situation. But in general, you can always change things up before your last day if needed. So those are some things to think about to help you know if it's time to retire. So good luck. I hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of your day. My name is Dallen Haws again, and I will see you next time.